Okay, I'm really excited to be back to continue this conversation. I kid myself that it's a conversation. I know it's a little bit of a monologue, but if you comment and if you reply back to me, it can be a dialogue. I watched a video, I listened to a YouTube video of somebody that I follow this morning. It was fantastic. And I did dialogue with her. I actually made her a little video back and I sent it to her. And I had some thoughts. You can send me a video, you can send me an email. I would love to dialogue with you. So I just want to say it can be a conversation. And until it is that conversation with you in particular, I'm going to use what I am hearing and feeling and how I'm interacting with my clients and with the parents in my group and with the world as the other side of the conversation. But I want to welcome you to also have that personal other side of the conversation with me. Okay. So we're talking about energy and specifically my favorite way to talk about energy. The framework that I like to use is yin yang. And like, obviously, I did not make this up. This is like the ancient Taoist philosophy, like thousands of years of yin yang. So I'm glomming onto that because it feels good, it resonates. It is also not energetically charged in the way that the words masculine and feminine are charged. I don't like talking about energy in terms of masculine and feminine because a number of reasons, and I hope to get into these reasons today. We might have to have another conversation to really fully explore these, but one reason is that my idea of feminine might be different than your idea of feminine because maybe we grew up in different places. Maybe we are different ages, different generations, maybe all of these things. Okay, so that is not, it's not like a universal language like 2 plus 2. Everybody knows what we mean when we say 2 plus 2, 1, 2, right? Everybody has the same idea about 2. You might have additional ideas about 2 versus 3, whatever, but everybody knows what you mean when you say 2 in terms of the number. Not true with masculine and feminine. That's a big reason. There's a bigger reason. And I want to explore another big reason today. That bigger reason is, and I don't pretend to be on the bleeding edge of everything that is going on in terms of gender and fluidity and the number of genders, if that's even a thing, right? But what I do know is that, male, female, and, heterosexual, homosexual, and maybe even bisexual, those were the only options 30 years ago that I was aware of, right? When I was in college. And today, there are so many more ways that people are identifying, right? So it's much more fluid. So what does masculine, feminine mean? I don't know. It gets a little bit, we can get a little bit tripped up. I think there's a lot of relativity to it when you're talking about this fluidity. So in order to take some of the charge out of a lot of conversations, I think, why not yin yang? Yin yang. And even though yin yang are two, right? That's like a duality, yin yang. It's not really, because every point between 100% yin and 100% yang, there's an infinite number of points in there. And everything is relative anyway, right? Like if we said up, down, right? Well, like at the tippy top, that would be like the most yang. And in the middle, that would be more yin. But then if we look at a point at the very bottom, then the middle turns from relatively yin to relatively yang. It's all relative. So that it's nice and fluid, just like gender has become more fluid, more possibilities, more ways that humans are allowing what they feel inside to be expressed outside. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful harmonization of yin yang that can be unique. And so I am going to, in my work, in what I am putting out in the world, I am going to be I'm not going to be referring to masculine, feminine, unless there's some very specific explanation that I use. Okay, yin yang is much more helpful. And so if I'm going to play devil's advocate for a minute, because yes, yin is more of the receiving energy. Yang is more of the projecting or giving energy. And so if you look at, I think all species, most species, certainly we as humans, right? If you look at female reproductive system, that is a receiving, the receiving part, right? And so that is yin energy receiving. And the male is the projecting, the giving. That's yang, projecting. Okay, so that's fine. Female reproductive yin, male reproductive yang. It doesn't mean that a man is only masculine if he's like 100% yang. No, let's like take masculine and feminine out, right? So everybody's got their own, unique energetic signature, and we can all harmonize more. We can harmonize more internally and externally. And that's, wow, and that's like kind of a big nutshell, I guess, but that's where relational parents is coming from, is that ability for us as parents to harmonize within. And then it's a natural consequence. Naturally, if we are more harmonized internally as humans, as parents who are facing arguably like the most extreme challenge, parenting adolescents in this day and age, this is an unprecedented, a crazy time, right? And I'm not talking about pandemic. I'm talking about a lot of the things that are happening, other things that are happening in the world and with our adolescents that we have no previous experience with. If we can come into greater resonance and more harmony internally, then we can bring that out and externally with our adolescents. And it's not easy, and I'm not saying it's as simple as one step there, but it doesn't have to be complicated. So, that was a mouthful. I hope I hear from you. Okay, so if you're listening to the podcast, you can go anytime to relationalparents.org and then hit the connect tab and send me an email from there. Or if it's easier, you can type in support@relationalparents.org and I will be very, very happy to get your side of the dialogue and engage with you. All right. Until next time, bye for now.